Veteran filmmaker Gregg Lachow has been making award-winning independent films since the mid-1990s. I sat down with Gregg recently via Zoom to talk about his latest project, a 6-episode TV show called The Uncertain Detective. Well, Gregg Lachow, it's great to see you, and congratulations on launching a series.
Thank you so much.
So let's begin with a very, very basic question. What is the premise of The Uncertain Detective?
I was so ready for this, and it never even occurred to me that you might ask me what it's about.
Ooh, maybe you kill your husband with a big knife,
No.
and then we see the blood dripping down.
No,
onto
I'm
the
not doing
body.
it. It's too gruesome.
Come on.
It's about a filmmaker and his family who are creating a detective show together. So we see the world of their real lives and the world that happens in the detective show intertwining, overlapping, and shading each other.
It's all about desire.
Could we cut? Could the crew not be sitting on the bed?
Yeah, cut.
So talk a little bit more about the crossover between the reality-based family drama and the fictional world of The Uncertain Detective.
So, in my life, I've always worked with friends, family, people I know, and I've always been infinitely more interested in the stuff that came from the real world than came from my head by myself.
You remember that we're filming today, right?
No. What?
The detectives are following you
No.
to make sure you don't kill your husband. I'm sure I told you.
No notice. Can't.
Did you read the script?
Yeah. She wants to kill her husband, so she hires a detective so that she can go back in time to not kill her husband. And once they've thrown the switch, time travel will then be possible, but until then, it's not.
Of course. And it wouldn't be possible to travel back in time to a time before it was possible to travel back in time. You think it's too confusing?
No, actually, it's the perfect fantasy.
A time machine or time portal is front and center in this first season of The Uncertain Detective. And a time machine was also prominent in your 1995 feature film, The 7 Mysteries of Life. So tell me about your interest/obsession with time travel.
I think when I moved from doing primarily theatrical stuff to starting to do film stuff, I saw pretty early on that film is basically all about time, whereas theater's really all about presence. I don't know if I'm more obsessed with it than anyone else. I did want to make a detective show about a detective who's not that interested in solving your normal crimes and murders and is more interested in the mysterious.
So that's what leads me to believe that my partner is stealing from our firm. Can you help?
Routine embezzlement is not generally a case for the uncertain detective. Is there any chance that your partner may be a self-conscious robot? Or perhaps an entity from another dimension?
I don't think so.
In this first season, we have cloning and we have interdimensional travel, but the main through line is this time travel adventure.
Gentlemen, I'm looking for a detective.
I'm a detective.
I'm a detective. How may I help you?
We don't have much time. I need you to help me find something. Quickly.
Missing person.
A working time portal.
Now we're talking. Please have a seat.
Your wife, Megan, fantastic actress. She has starred in most, if not all, of your productions over the past 4 decades. So what is it about Megan's talent? Talk about what is it that she brings to every role?
Well, I think anytime you see great acting, what you're seeing is great intelligence. And that's what Megan brings. If you were watching the takes and the evolution as we proceed, you're watching a mind at work, and that's so exciting.
Why would you murder your husband?
You mean my character?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, work with me just a little bit. Give me like one reason.
I'll give you 5 good reasons. 1, criticizes me constantly. 2, nags incessantly. 3, doesn't listen to me. 4, he's not interested enough in me. 5 is not passionately interested enough in me.
Those are good reasons.
You want more? I have another hand if you need. I totally give you 5 more.
No thanks.
So why does the 19th century Russian playwright Anton Chekhov come up so often in a series that at first glance would appear to be whimsical and contemporary?
We have dipped into Chekhov for 30 years in works we do. We turn to him. It's not a conscious thing. It just, oh yeah, that's very much what we need.
Okay, Annette, did you get the lines, the script I sent you, the Chekhov Three Sisters? Okay. So it's 1.
Well, you've got to have some faith, or at least you've got to seek faith. How can you live and not wonder why the birds fly, or children are born, or the stars shine in the sky?
Chekhov's really funny, but when you watch him, he's typically not very funny when you see performances. And apparently, from what I know, that drove him crazy. And our work is always tinged with humor. And it's a really interesting challenge, right? As you know, Nancy, to be funny while also trying to propel the show forward. And I like that challenge. And I think Chekhov was a genius at it.
When you look at your career at this point, the arc, 40-ish years, maybe more, what's the difference between when you started and now, would you say?
Ooh, that's a good question. What's changed, and only in the last few years, is this time around, I actually care if people see it, not in the sense of like X number of people seeing it, but in the sense of I want to do it again. I want there to be a season 2. And that's part of my excitement, is I know what I want season 2 to be, and I'm super excited to, I really hope we get to do it, and it will be better than what, in the sense that I will have learned and we get to grow, and that's all you can ask for. That's a blessing, really.
Yeah. Well, we're celebrating season 1. We look forward to season 2 and many more. Congratulations, Gregg, on a great accomplishment. It's super fun, wonderful, charming, and thanks for talking with me.
Thanks so much.
You're too late, detective. Now why don't you be a good detective and find us a working time portal?
The first 6-episode season of The Uncertain Detective is streaming now on YouTube. Learn more about Gregg Lachow at imdb.com.